they were formerly on.
A jolly good game is what I call it. That's what they're going to have. But Darky is he's just the ringleader, man. I think he's been the one to really get all these strats and really do the theory crafting, really, more than anybody else in all of these teams. And with that Darky missing in that Z squad, you got to be kind of worried for him.
It's a little bit weird to see. Or to not see, more
importantly. It is, yeah. It's kind of... It's weird, yeah. Definitely weird. It's kind of upsetting that these guys kind of split apart, because I knew them very well. But it's nice that they both get along and they're playing together, and they're just going to have a really good match.
All right, we can already see Gascat is being banned away here by the side Dignitas over on the Blue Legion side. Over on the Red Squad side, still waiting for their ban to come in for Zed. And I kind of want to assume we're going to see the Fat Man. We're going to see Atomic Wonder Woman.
Everybody banning the Atomic Wonder Woman. It's a shame. I really like seeing her in games as well. She brings a lot of action to the table.
And her ultimate's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And her leap abilities as well. And how
Where's the Superman ban?
It might be coming. It might be coming. It might not be coming. Maybe this is a plan from for Dignitas not to ban it out. So Zed are forced to ban it. But they're taking a long time to ban.
Yeah, this is in one of Darky's thousands and thousands of calculations that he did beforehand, predicting the picks and bans.
Will he just let a ban go? Or does it randomly ban something? Or maybe he's disconnected. It's taken a long time. But I'm hearing messages, so this might not be good. Zero is not responding in TS.
Well, we told them to be ready, and that we'd be starting within 5 minutes.
I'm sure somebody said they're ready. So, yeah. Oh, well.
Well,
we might have to reset this sort of team bracket. But anyways, we got a ban eventually, which is the Atomic Green Lantern. If that is a legitimate ban, they could be just banning stuff out.
Talking to admin really quickly to see what's going to be going on with that.
But yeah. So they're just trying to max out the time on these bans.
Well, that's why Dignitas was doing that then, to kind of be nice to each other.
Superman, he's back, no worries. So it's all fixed. Darky's going to instant pick that Wonder Woman, take it away from Ant Q, who is very famously good on Wonder Woman. Did actually a really good job, even though they lost yesterday. So.
Seeing Atomic Green Lantern ban, though, that's interesting, because now the Fat Man's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, still available.
And to be honest, that's probably going to be Ant Q's pick if they can get that opportunity to get him. And they like to play the, the double tanks. So we'll see what happens here. And Idricrox is taking a long time to pick.
Maybe Ciro left again.
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
Maybe he just came back and said, guys, I'll be right back.
No, he wouldn't do that. Surely not. Artrosta's being picked up. So that'll be that top lane, I would guess.
We did see it yesterday.
We did.
And it was Zed versus Wolves. And Wolves ended up winning with him. Now the question again comes into, would that be a top lane Atrocitus or a jungle Atrocitus?
I would assume it's top lane at the moment, but you can't tell until we see the rest of the picks, really. But I think Atrocitus is pretty slow jungle. He does have some AoE clear with his rage abilities, but I've always felt he's quite slow, but maybe I'm just a bad player.
Won't be the first game. I'm sorry. You'll kick my butt in like every game, except maybe a MOBA, I think.
Yeah. Maybe.
And anything FPS-oriented, you'll just completely destroy me.
Probably not in Left 4 Dead, maybe. I think you'd have a good chance on Left 4 Dead.
Actually, yeah. Maybe that one.
I think
that was a really fun game. I love that game.
Yeah, it was good. I loved it as well.
We should go back and play it one day.
We should.
In the meantime, though, we do see the Arcane Green Lantern being picked up by Matthew. So that's a really ballsy thing.
Yeah.
To pick Arcane Green Lantern as support against the support who brought him to life in competitive play, Darky.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, that's some big balls moves.
What's funny is that lineup so far is identical so far to the lineup they lost against yesterday.
Is it?
Yeah. So Wolves had the Atrocitus, they had that Arcane Green Lantern. What else did they have? They had the Joker.
Was it Joker?
Gasbat as well.
Yeah, it was Joker.
And Blood Dragon's picking up the Mecha Wonder Woman here. So securing that favorite marksman, really. Everybody really likes the Mecha Wonder Woman. She has a lot more utility. Good ultimate that deals a lot of damage to everything in a fight. And also scales up pretty well late game. And Nurok picking up that Sinestro pick there as well.
You know, I actually have not been that impressed with Mecha Warrior Ultimate so far. I have yet to see one of them do really good damage since yesterday, or since before yesterday. I don't know whether it's just because of changes or whether or not because the other team's just too tanky or there's misplaced, but I don't know. I mean, just all in all, very good marksman. We'll see how it's going to work out with this one. See what we'll be up against, probably Gasbat, I would assume. But there's the Joker. Maybe they're going for the exact same combo that Wolves used against them.
Quite possibly. That'd be interesting.
But what worries me, though, is that Wolves isn't the same kind of team as Dignitas are.
That's very,
no
very
offense
true.
to them, but that is just a flat-out true statement, just based off past results.
No, it's fair, and this Z lineup at the moment is a little bit rusty as well. You know, they disappeared and they've only just come back, and there's the Nightmare Batman pick, so they're taking it away from Dignitas.
Well, the thing is, look at the lineup of Dig. It's exactly what we saw out of Epsilon, minus now the Nightmare Batman.
Yep. And Nightmare Robin going to be picked up for Chris here.
So that's jungle then.
Yeah, I would assume so. And Harley Quinn picking up, well, from Silas. That'll be Darky's role there for the support, and Gasbat as well. An obvious pick. Coming in for the Z guys.
So now, we saw Nightmare Bat.
Yep.
And we saw how well it can work in like kind of a pick comp. I don't feel like we have the same pick comp out of Zed this time.
No, they don't have lockdown real secure, in my opinion. Like when we had Wonder Woman in the previous team, when we saw it, we also had what
Sinestro.
else? Sinestro, Nightmare Superman. Basically 4 members in the previous team, Epsilon team, could lock down. Essentially 2 players could kill a person instantly.
It made it so whatever lane Nightbat went to gank, it was almost a guaranteed kill because they always had someone you can depend on to get some sort of CC.
Yep. And they did really well with it. When I feel the Nightmare Batman might not suit this lineup entirely, but you know, maybe they can pull something out of the bag here.
I hope it wasn't like a let's take it away from them pick.
I think it could well have been,
because that sometimes doesn't work.
Well, it might not work, but Idrikox is very good on the Nightmare Batman. I mean, there was a period where he was always constantly in the jungle, so you know he's well rehearsed in it, but significantly weaker as it was before. But we saw the output damage that Epsilon did with it, so could be pretty lethal.
All right, well here we go, ladies and gentlemen, kicking off our second game of the day here. It's time to be Dignitas up against Zed. Winner goes on to play against Epsilon. Loser goes on to play against H2K. And we're gonna see how this one's gonna happen, or how this one's gonna go down. More importantly. And I can kind of already assume who you're going to say you think's going to win.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think we both agree there's a clear favorite in this match.
I don't even think I need to have to say it. It's probably going to be Dignitas. But you never know. With this lineup, the old school Dignitas team, anything's possible with these Z guys. They could get really lucky. They could play their hearts out. They could do lots of clever things. But Idrikox not going for the same mods and going for a bit more lifesteal, actually, than Epsilon there. So
does that mean early Raiders?
Possibly not. I don't think they're thinking that far ahead.
Well, yeah. I'm curious about Raider play when it comes to these two teams, considering the old Dignitas, which is 4 out of 5 now Zed, was the team to go for these very early Raiders.
Well, half of that team was. Zero and Q were a little bit slower on the table when it came to that kind of stuff. But Idrikox and Slitzer definitely have that experience and will be able to sort of, I imagine, counter this Dignitas sort of play when they go to those Raiders. They should be fully aware of it. Of course, they're going to camera it up for the entire game, providing that Matthew B does his job correctly on that bottom lane, which seems to be a popular place to open up the radio.
The thing is, Schlitzer, like, he was the man to show you how to protect it, like zone control. With Joker, and he's got him for this game. So I'm really curious to see how that one's going to how that one's going to really go down here. Either way, we do have Q helping out Josh Cox in the jungle on that top northeast side, and we do have Blood Dragon getting no help down towards the southwest.
Doesn't seem to need it. He seems quite happy in that jungle, picking up that deployable health pad, which is just dropped down.
Okay, so who do you think is going to be stronger in the early game when it comes to these two teams? Now, who are you really favoring?
I'd say they're pretty equal, really, to be honest. I mean, no real individual wins a lane like this so much. I mean, they're pretty balanced, in my opinion. I mean, the Arcane Green Lantern may be the downside in the bottom lane, of course, because Harley Quinn is ranged support. So they can deal out a lot more damage onto Zero if he misplaces himself. Matthew B always got to have that sort of stay back and wait to counter-attack mentality. And as you can see, just as they're attacking drones, they seem a lot more comfortable and how they wait for the last hits here. Dignitas and Darky helping out with them. And Matthew B just constantly trying to position himself. He won't even go in for the drones. He can't anyway. Zero's going to try and get as much farm as he can, but it's a lot more difficult, as you well know.
Mm-hmm. I'm really curious to see how Darky does on this Harley Quinn.
Seems to be his favorite champion at the moment. He absolutely loves playing her, even.
Yeah, he was, and probably still is, the best support that we've seen so far in Infinite Crisis.
Seems to play anything as support and do well with it. I mean, he's just got all that knowledge in the back of his head somewhere. And plus he doesn't sleep, so he's constantly on it.
I don't know how he does that. I love sleep. I can't get enough of sleep.
Sleep is awesome.
All right, well, kind of a slow pace to start things off with. Only 3 minutes in. Not really expecting too much anyways. Jungler's just going to keep farming up. And actually, let's just talk about the mods. Let's talk about the mods. Why don't you walk us through what you see for each team here to kind of give some sort of insight to what items we're going to be seeing later on.
So, okay, so we've got some action actually coming in onto Darky right now on that stealth pad. And lots of big damage coming out. He's popping his heal, but it's not going to be enough. This is good play from Zed, picking up that early first blood onto Darky. That was a little bit unexpected. Idricoc's now going to take down this Destroyer. That's some good play, and they're going to get some early vision down on this bottom lane. But Arcane Green Lantern, going for the Mercury's Gift, which is a great team play sort of scenario, and he's got the mod for it, so you know it builds up extra speed, I believe. Gives 35% movement speed at tier 3 for 4 seconds. So essentially you can move your entire team into a team fight very quickly or get out of a fight if it goes horribly wrong. And you can set up some awesome plays with it. And Darky really was the instigator of using that. And every team sort of started using that in Europe after Darky set the meta for it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Darky hasn't got the same thing. He has. So.
And look where the two towers were placed. Right next to each other.
Really? Oh yeah, they were. Again. They did this yesterday.
But it wasn't opposing teams, though.
Quite right, yeah.
That's kind of funny to see. But so, I guess, unfortunately, those two towers will be made null and void once the second one does get taken down, which I'm assuming Dignitas knows exactly where it is. Dr. Cox now level 4, though. He's had a successful gank already.
Yep.
Looks like he's looking for one top lane.
Yep. He's in a good position to actually get some damage, but it's Wonder Woman, and we've got those blades coming in from Blood Dragon. Big damage coming out with that Impale. And he could go down here. Has he got a lasso? Mrock's probably already used it, but Blood Dragon taking so much damage.
Now Anskew, he has the drones on his side here, attack Nurok, and he's staying alive. They're going to pick up a second kill here. Zed going to go up 3-0.
Huge plays coming in from Zed early on. If they can keep this momentum, they're going to be going places today.
Well, one thing that worries me is that they didn't look that strong against Wolves.
Later on.
But
yep.
Thing is, maybe they've been preparing for Dignitas this whole time. Obviously, we talked about teams not wanting to show their hands too early on yesterday, in terms of play and stuff like that. Maybe they're just kind of messing with us. Maybe it was a mental game.
Mental indeed. Just imagine if they overcome this Dignitas team, and
it would be a huge upset.
Old school better than new school.
And just to remind you guys, because this comes to mind when I was thinking of yesterday's games, as said we did have 2 disconnects. That was with the twin brothers, Dr. Cox and Schlitzer. But we do have a rule for it today. So if a team disconnects and they're in the lead, they can call for a remake. If the team disconnects and they're behind, then they unfortunately do not get that privilege. But that is determined by, or whoever's ahead or behind is determined by the ESL staff, so our admins and even us get say in it. To determine, was that team technically ahead? Like we saw yesterday with the Wolves game up against Zed. Wolves, they were down like 7,000 credits, but they had a lot of momentum, and they looked like they were in the lead.
They had 2 dampeners down. Well, they had 1 dampener down when the disconnect happened, so Yeah, in terms of the map, they were winning, but in terms of the credits, they weren't. And it's hard to get those calls, really. I mean, at that particular point of a fight, it's dead even. Any team fight could have really turned it.
Dr. Cox coming in mid lane, though, looking for Silas here. We'll pop the ult onto him. Silas is going to be in a really tough spot here. And it looks like he will be able to escape with a little bit of help, but gets taken down in the end for Dr. Cox. And that is now a 4-0 lead here built up for the Dregenslejers.
That experience of having that Nightmare Batman, sorry, on Idrikox, he was always used in the jungle, so now he just looks very, very flexible, and he's picking up a lot of kills, lots of assists, building up a lot of credits for his team right now. Idrikox is setting a lot of plays, and his brother was dead on point as well with that baby bomb, and the timing of the invis. When you come out of invis with Nightmare Batman, and you have a swarm of bats that do damage as well. Every play was right there.
Right now, Zed really catching us off guard, and not to mention probably Dignitas here, but 2,000 credit lead. Curious to see how they're going to really, build up some momentum from this. Again, Raiders could be potentially done. Their tower has still yet to be taken down here after both have been spotted out. Really surprised to kind of see that so far. In the meantime, bomb side, we're going to see another gank coming in and out of Dr. Cox. Doesn't have ultimate up just yet, and it looks like, well, at least just show some sort of presence to keep Dignitas on the back foot.
Yep. Darky going to knock away Matthew B there. And that was quite a deep dive, really. Trying to really chase him down there, but to me, it was just so out of range. Why even bother at that particular point? But everybody kept pushing. Obviously, seeing something that I couldn't. What is coming up next? There's nothing on the board yet. Raider should be pretty soon. And
yeah,
I wonder if Zed are going to be able to take it this early. I mean, I'd like to see them try it. Really put on that pressure onto Dignitas. Play so aggressive that there's no room to move.
And the thing is, they have a teleport up where Nurok does not. So obviously, we'll give an advantage to Zed if they do want to go for it and just teleport in. You can see Nightmare Robin, the Dragon, waiting to go in on that top side here, though.
Yep. And Idrikox looking to set up another gank by the looks of it. He's trying to position himself for the mid lane, but just going to wait in this stealth pad and wait for the opportunity with this extra vision. And he sees, surely he's going to see Nightmare Robin coming down any second now. He's going to ping it crazily. Mid. Could be dangerous, but Slitz has seen it and should be good. And Idrikox is actually not going to do anything about it. It looks like he might.
Yeah, he's been spotted up by multiple cameras here, so it looks like he's just going to back away in the meantime. In terms of credits, he's about 3,000 compared to 2,200, 2,300 now. He's got a nice 700 credit lead. That is a lot here for this game so far.
Yeah, very impressive this early on.
He's got his rank 3 Coda Blade now. It's an extra 50 attack damage, 10 attack penetration. And it looks like he might come in middle here. Just maybe shove the lane in, maybe go for that Raider. Again, we bring up the Raider a lot when it comes to these two teams because they were the first two to really innovate early Raiders. The first time we saw it was about 9 minutes in, and you typically never saw them around that time, and that gave you such a huge snowball. With now the security towers being moved into the destroyers and taken away from the Raider, but the EMPs now going there makes it even more important in some aspects.
The balance changes where they switched up the camera towers and also the EMPs. I think that was a really good move from Turbine. I think it's really added more dynamic play to it and less sort of awkwardness with everybody having EMPs before. And Ansq taking a lot of damage on this top lane. That's a lot of meteorite strikes that happened there. Look at it, 3 of them, all dropped upon his head. But yeah, I think before there was far too many EMPs being played, and also you could permanently disable a tower for 8 seconds, which is pretty strong. And saving them up now is a little bit harder to do because obviously they're only on the Raider and also the Leviathan. So I kind of like that. And the surveillance towers is all only last 5 minutes as well now. So 6 minutes.
Since that initial 4-0 lead here for Zed, they've seemed to slow down quite a bit, and they've done a good job, Dignitas have, of stopping Dr. Cox from getting these ganks in on that middle side. With these camera placements, it just prevents him from getting that stealth push in into that ultimate to really open up another kill onto Silas here. So right now, Dignitas responding very well.
Yeah.
Zed looks like they will be going for Destroyer on the bottom. So in the meantime, Dignitas will be going for one on the top.
Indeed, it should be an even trade. Ansq feeling like he wants to steal it, but the lane's too far pushed up. bottom will go towards Zed, and also Blood Dragon's going to pick it up top for Dignitas. And a Raider already with just the two of them. This is some interesting play. They put that surveillance tower down there so they knew if there was any cameras there. And nobody from Zed has suspected anything yet. This is some good play, and maybe you were right. No, sorry, my mistake. That's not Nightmare Batman, that's Nightmare Robin. With the lifesteal plays. And oh, Ansq comes over disappointed, but he's going to eliminate the surveillance tower. And that was a really good play from Dignitas. Only 2 members taking out that top Raider. Yeah,
they had a plan. I think they knew exactly where Nightmare Batman was. They knew Dr. Cox was down towards the bomb, so it's like, hey, we can probably go for free right after this destroyer. We have the camera so we can get the vision. We can always back away if they come anyways. So why not go for it? Now they have that EMP in hand, and we'll have that opportunity. Zero getting very low on the bottom lane, though. Forced to use his healing wave and back away from this.
Yeah, but big damage coming in on top lane as well onto Ansq. He's going to be eliminated very fast, and now traction is coming for Dignitas. They seem back on form now. They're picking up 2 kills now and closing the gap.
I think that's just due to, again, I mentioned before, them shutting down Dr. Cox in terms of preventing him from making any ganks happen. Like, if you think about how the game started off, he had a gank middle, had a nice 2-for-0 trade on the top side. But now, with all the cameras that keep getting put down, he's been unsuccessful in making any ganks happen. And because of that, they haven't been able to snowball the game anymore. Now they're down 700 credits. This is looking very bad for Zed.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. They've taken the credit lead now as well, purely for that Raider and that extra kill that he just got on the top lane. And maybe just generally better farming in the lanes as well. I don't know how Zero has been comparing to his rival. Let's have a look. So 3,300 compared to 3,500. So Zero is actually winning that still. So they're actually winning that bottom lane in terms of the credits. But looks like those global objectives really making a difference there for Dignitas.
Yeah, and that's just the mastermind of Darky. I mean, one thing we saw yesterday with Zed versus Wolves, they had over a 10,000 credit lead, and yet they couldn't close out the game. And we wondered, was that just Darky's great strat calling for the team? And now we're seeing Darky, he can play from ahead, he can help play from behind for their team, they really be the voice they need to listen to.
Yeah.
And Dignitas looking pretty strong. Looking like maybe the new school is better than the old school.
Quite possibly, but we've got more action coming in on top lane, but no real lockdown onto Ansq, so he's able to just walk that out. Ansq even.
And again, I'm just waiting for Dr. Cox to do something.
I was just about to say the same thing. Like he's
been so quiet the last.
He doesn't know where to place himself, and I just feel as if Blood Dragon's going to be more on point now, especially when he's got an EMP, so he can actually dive a particular target. In fact, I'm surprised they haven't gone down to take out Zero here, but feeling very confident of taking down Ansq here, and they're positioned perfectly in this stealth pad. And he's not going to see this attack coming in. Who's going to start off this fight? In comes Nurok with that ultimate. We've got locked down. Here comes the Impale. Big damage with that ultimate from Blood Dragon.
One thing is, Blood Dragon's just finding way into these lanes to make kills happen so much better than Dr. Cox is. And the thing is, Dr. Cox has the stealth ability, and yet he has been successful in it. Like, if only he knew where the cameras were placed on the top side or bottom side of middle, he could stealth past the camera, sit in a stealth pad where there was no camera, and then just wait for stealth to come back up. But instead, he just kind of tries to run in.
Way too late, yeah. Every time. And, I mean, they had so much vision at the start as well. That probably contributed to their early lead. They got both of the destroyers, well, one of them, sorry, and enabled them to eliminate the other destroyer, surveillance camera, sorry, very early on. So they had that vision advantage, but now that it's gone, he just seems lost, and it's upsetting.
And again, you're seeing him try to gank middle right there. He's not spotted out by a camera, but he's just unsuccessful in making anything happen. The other team's just playing too safe. And the thing is,
too tight, yeah.
Dignitas, obviously, Darky knows how to play against a Nightmare Batman. So as long as he conveys it to his teammates, to play careful, play safe. After the initial, start that we saw, everyone seemed to have woken up and realized, okay, we have to play more passive. But with Blood Dragon really stepping up here for his team, they've been more successful in their ganks. And they're only down 1 kill, but they're still up almost 3,000 credits. Or sorry, 2,000 credits.
I mean, when you have a team that's consistently playing and you're playing against old teammates, obviously you can strat crawl a little bit better. And as you can see, big damage actually happening in this bottom lane as well. And getting a ferocious there, Blood Dragon. and Arcane Green Lantern will fall. But I feel as if Darky has the experience and also the prior knowledge of his previous teammates that, you know, they got that early start, and we're going to do the slow play now, and he knows how uncomfortable they are once that slow play comes.
And now Schlitzer being dove middle. Blood Dragon picking up another kill. He's now dominating here at 5-1.
Yep. He's running away with items as well. He's picking up the Sword of Beowulf as well. Get that shield that knocks down power damage, and also a little bit more damage on the side as well to go with it. Coda Blade level 3, Marauder Knife level 3. It's building up fast. Idrikox is actually going more tanky, actually. He's building that Suits of Sorrow, so that's to negate some of that attack damage and sort of reflect it back at Blood Dragon, providing that they have fights. But
yeah, one thing we saw with the Nightmare Batman, how it worked, it was all about those picks. It's about getting those kills early on and you know, having a lane he could go to every single time to have to make that happen. But unfortunately, bottom doesn't really have the ability to do that. Mid lane he does, but he's been shut down just by...
He's just been stuck in his jungle right now. He needs to just set up a big team fight somewhere. Go for something to contest. And Raider should be up relatively shortly. In fact, 1 minute 25.
Well, do you think we're actually going to see Zed try to contest it?
I should
or
hope
start
so.
it if Dignitas go for it, or don't go for it?
Maybe they're going to try a two-man sort of Raider again.
Well, we do have Silas, though, up towards the north side of him. No gank potentially coming in. Ansky getting locked down on the top side here, and that should be another kill.
He's been a little bit unflexible on that top lane, always getting caught off. And
Dr. Cox was trying to gank middle just now, but he got... Well, he stayed on top of the camera again. Like, he's not coming from the bottom side. He's coming from the top side every time. And he's just constantly being spotted. And he's been unsuccessful. He's coming down bottom side. He's going to be walking right by a camera yet again.
They've seen it coming as well. There's nothing he can do because that afterburn is going to give him the escape he needs. Matthew B is going to take far too much damage if this is a kill. Matthew B is going to go down to that ultimate from Chris. The Tempest coming out, and now another one possibly for Zed going down. Idrikox will fall, his first death, and Zero manages to find Darky, but he's just going to feed that Blood Dragon.
All right, so 2 for 3 trade in favor here at Dignitas. Now they're going to get a destroyer as well here towards the bottom side. And it's at 9-6 in terms of kills here between these two teams.
8 for 1 for Blood Dragon right now.
Not bad. He's looking like me when I play.
When he dies, he's going to give a lot of credits. That's if they can kill him.
That's if he dies, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much he's sitting on right now that he can buy with. It's got to be quite a bit.
6,800 credits right now.
He's out farming his solo lanes in terms of credits.
Not surprising, really, when you go 8 for 1.
Oh, now looking for a gank middle here. Schlitzer, obviously very slippery on Joker, but gets locked down yet again, and that's another kill coming in. And Silas does pick up that one himself. Raider now, gonna be done here.
Good timing. Perfect timing, really. I mean, they got the picks around the map. They're out of position here now. They've actually gone straight back to their lanes. They probably even forgot about Raider after all those upsets. Just not having anybody really call it. I feel, you know, that lineup's really missing their shout caller, which was Darky, which would tell you when things were coming up. And it's now really showing quite a lot.
Well, right now, hopefully for the sake of Zed here, that they can pull something back. I'm just trying to wonder what can they possibly do here. And the laning phase is almost over here, which is where, you know, Dotox is really going to thrive on that Nightmare Batman. And yet, in the last 12 minutes, he hasn't been able to have a successful gank.
Levels are extending ahead as well for Dignitas as well.
13 to 16 between the junglers. Wow.
Yeah. Zed's closest is 14 in the mid, and that's Schlitzer, who's relatively not done that much, actually. He's pretty much just stayed mid, and I think he's died a couple of times. Yeah.
So try to farm up. We do have now coming up from the top side, New Rock. Maybe looking for another kill on the Schlitzer. Gotta be careful here. Blood Dragon there as well.
That's going to be ugly. Ooh,
Oh,
nowhere close. Telegraphed his movements there a little bit too early.
Thing is, they have an EMP. They could just straight up dive it if they want to.
They could have, yeah, especially with
really,
Wonder Woman.
Ooh, Nurok's coming down bomb side. Both of them are. They're looking for this turret. They're looking for 2 kills.
Yep.
The turret's already low to begin with. And look at the vision, or the lack of vision out of Zed. They have like 1 camera down.
EMP, Wonder Woman's coming down. Blood Dragon's here. Tower's gone. They're going to have to let it go. Nurok.
Oh, he could have got behind him, and
I
that would have
feel
been
as if he
deadly.
could have, yeah.
Are they really going to go for Leviathan?
They should. And they are.
They have so much vision. Like they get the destroyer camera down, and then they go for an objective off it. So smart. The Leviathan's going to be gone in just a matter of seconds here. And Zed, they are really falling behind. They look so strong in the beginning, but they're only falling further and further back. Almost a 10,000 credit difference now here for Dignitas.
Yep. EMP left. No, Nurok's going to pick it up. They ping out the Idrikox. They find him, and they're going to eliminate him as quickly as possible. He's in a little bit of a bad position here. He's trying to run, but he can't do enough. And Arcane Green Lantern's ultimate wasted as well.
And the baby bomb.
Yeah, this is a mid down surely as well. They're going to contest this, but we have some rotations coming in, but they can't do anything.
They might lose 2 turrets off of this right now. Schlitzer can't defend this. He's going to be pushed on right away. Almost getting taken down. Lasso comes in. Schlitzer's going to fall. And that's going to be 1 turret middle. They have the EMP, I believe. Yeah, 2 of them. They're going to push it onto the second one. They could potentially... I wonder if they could take the dampener.
Ansq now teleporting in. He was on that top lane. He did get the top tower down in all that trade, but it's a little bit too late. He lost 2 towers because of that, really, and didn't really join the fight. Lost the Leviathan as well. 2 EMPs. This should be Dignitas' tower right back now, and it looks like they are going to go for it. EMP is going to be dropped in, and now we're going to have some massive damage come on to Ansq. He's going down fast with a meteorite drop. He's stuck on top of it. He's trying to use everything he can, but it's not enough. Blood Dragon is hurt, but there's nothing really to reply here. There's only 2 for Zed, and Chris is just coming in from the side doing some big damage as well with those glaives.
Well, 1 death for keeping a turret alive. I say it's a good trade here for Zed. That was a smart play by Ansq, and they forced him to use a meteorite. They forced him to use an EMP. So I think, in the end, Zed came out ahead in that one, as long as they can still keep this turret alive right now.
Well, I wouldn't say ahead, but, it's damage control, isn't it? It's in a losing situation, and that was the best move they could do, I suppose.
All right, well, right now, in that 24-minute mark here, Zed not want to give up this game here just yet, but they are 10,100 credits behind.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they actually concede, because both Dignitas or previous Dignitas members tend to never give up. They tend to stay in the entire time, but things could change, especially when Digger 13-6 up. And now a 10k credit lead, as you said.
Well, let's take a look at Blood Dragon again. 8, 1, and 4. Sort of Beowulf not done. Suit of Sorrow is almost completed.
Yep.
And we do have the Speed Force battery picked up yet again, coming in onto Nurok. So we saw that yesterday. It worked out really well for Zed.
Yep, Ansq doing those moves with it. So, well, probably maybe Nurok started doing it before Ansq. Ansq did it actually really, really early, sort of alpha, I believe, in one of the first cups, using it as best as you can. Nurok actually just using it there onto Schlitzer, but didn't quite get the lockdowns that they were hoping for. The damage looking to be done on this mid tower, perhaps. The rest of the team rotating in. Drone wave looking good. Health packs coming in for the Zed guys, and there is the lockdown, and it's beautiful! EMP time perfectly. That's everybody falling here now for Zed. 3 down, 2 left, and they're nowhere to be seen, and they're going to just tank this up, Dignitas, and they're going to eliminate this dampener as quickly as possible. And we have Zero coming in from behind, but he's going to do nothing. Absolutely zero.
Oh, they're just going to push into the power core turrets as well. They're looking for the finish here. They have the shield still coming in from Leviathan. The first turret will fall in a second. They do go the backside towards Chris, who just leaps away from this. There's turret number 1 falling now. And Dignitas starting to back away. They still have quite a bit of time to get the kill in a 0-2. And that gives them so much time to go for this last turret, especially since they have a wave here.
Yeah, this is GG. There's nothing they can do now. Zed. Dignitas showing how to finish a game. Showing Zed how it's done. That's how you finish a game. Don't wait for 20 minutes before you try and attack a tower.
All right, so very well done by Dignitas. They fell behind early on, and yet they kept their composure. They just focused and were able to take that one back. And I mean, it took a little bit of time. Honestly, we saw them completely counter Dr. Cox with the amount of cameras they placed. But eventually, it was enough for them to really kind of get some sort of hold back into it.
Yeah. I mean, they played so good at the start, Zed. They had a lot of control with the ganks from Idiocox, but that midway point, they just couldn't do anything about it. And Dignitas just showing better team play, better coordination throughout the whole game. That early Raider especially was just phenomenally good. But Dignitas really showing so much potential in that fight. Even, you know, in the picking stage where they eliminated that Nightmare Batman, which was apparently going to be the favorite pick from what they were discussing with the Epsilon guys. And having that eliminated as well didn't phase them at all, especially when Blood Dragon goes 8 for 1 in that jungle, showing tremendous form.
Yeah. The thing is, like, he got killed early on. Remember that unsuccessful two-man, or it was a 2v2 top lane, where Dr. Cox was able to run away from that one, and Anskew just 1v2'd him?
Yeah.
Like, they went down, and yet they didn't really let him phase him. I mean, it was a 4-0 lead for Zed, and we thought, wow, we didn't really expect them to come out that strong, but they were looking like a team that could actually push Dignitas into a loss. Remember, Dignitas, not necessarily the same lineup, but they were the Season 1 champions. You know, so they had Dr. Cox, they had Schlitzer on the team then.
They did, yeah.
But Darky, I don't know. I don't know if it's just all him, maybe. I don't know if it's just him making the calls. Blood Dragon performed outstandingly.
To be honest, it's not all just Darky. I mean, Darky is a huge part of it, and you know, he's been the most active, most keen player out of the teams, if you ask me. He's always been more focused and more driven, and that's often the case in team games like this. That you always have that one guy that's always researching, doing stuff, just trying to keep ahead of the game and teaching his teammates how to develop new techniques and tactics that he's been able to utilize and carry out through one team. And you know, when Zed don't have that man, they sort of fall apart. I don't feel as if Matthew B really contributes that sort of that knowledge really in that support role as of yet. But
well, you can't really expect him to be on the same level as Darky, in my opinion. You can't be like, all right, well, be our Darky, make our calls for us, do things so we can
exactly.
So we can win games.
You've been thrown into a team that's already very, very solid. When you look at that Zed lineup, it's the old Dignitas team. And they have many victories in Europe with that team as well. It's just excluding Darky, and there was just nothing really Matthew B could really contribute, especially if he's maybe copying Darky's older techniques as well. He's just not ahead of the game in terms of that sort of play style.